Here are some clips from the 2012 and 2013 season versus empty. Starting out right here, you'll actually see that we didn't do a good job communicating. Our defense thought they were in a trips look, and then finally we figured out that they were actually in an empty, and we were still moving at the snap and not ready. This is a version of the quarter halves that I mentioned in the article, but it's actually flipped. This was a way that we played it in 2012 that we got from one of the universities I spoke with, and what we've actually done is we're playing cover 2 to the 2 receiver side, and we're playing a form of quarters here to the strong side, where our Sam linebacker is being told that if 3 works vertical, he's got to funnel and pass him to the Mike, who's expected to help carry him so that he basically gets bracketed. If 2 breaks off his route early, our safety here is going to get depth and get his eyes to number 3. We went away from this coverage initially, but it was good to us at times. You see here versus a quick screen, even though our corner here is playing quarters, he's able to get his outside leverage, and the Sam linebacker really does a nice job of chasing when he recognizes the bubble. But we're able to spoke to the ball and contain this for a very minimal gain, which is obviously our goal. Okay, another snap, same coverage. It almost looks like we're playing man here. This young man is clearly has the wrong leverage. We expect him to be head up to inside leverage here. He was a very athletic player, a good player, but this was his first year playing football. But he did have to play for us. You see we've got cover 2 again going up top. Here our Mike linebacker really misplays this route. The Mike linebacker for some reason is attacking downhill as if he's expecting run, even though that's not something we'd seen this quarterback do. He was a very good player. I believe he's at the University of Missouri now. And, you know, this Mike linebacker should really be reading the quarterback and should be getting underneath number 3 if he sees any type of vertical action, which he does. Fortunately, we get solid pass rush. It is not a great throw, and they actually missed the throw here on the underneath or the squeeze route to number 2, and we have a chance at a pick and don't make it. But you can see clearly if what should happen is our Mike should drop to number 3, and then our Sam here should come off on the smash call from his safety as the safety looks to get depth. We don't get that done, but we get lucky and we get away with it. To the top, we do a decent job with our cover 2 action. I would like for the linebacker to hold a little bit more inside leverage. Safety sees 2 working inside, stays over the top. Our corner up top does a nice job buzzing his feet and then tracing the route. Okay, here's another look at it. Again, I don't like our leverage here. He should get more depth prior to the snap. We just don't want to show a lot of free grass here in front of this receiver. Our corner up top, I believe, actually busts this coverage and begins to sink off instead of playing his cover 2 technique, and they're able to complete a ball. We do a decent job down here to the 3 receiver side handling these coverages. Our Mike does a better job of reading the quarterback. We almost come out of this clean and are able to get a shot on the quarterback, but unfortunately the corner up top busts the coverage and they're able to convert it and can almost get themselves a first down. Okay, here this is actually the same coverage, but what we've actually done is checked our nickel front. This is something that we did a lot during the 2013 season. Okay, we're still playing a version of quarters here with cover 2 down to the boundary. Okay, you see the Sam linebacker widens out and is apexing the number 2 and 3 receiver. One of the things we see here, when number 2 takes this super wide split, we decided we would rather our Sam widen out and be prepared to try and run with it than we would to widen our safety out and give number 3 a shot down the pipe uncontested. So we actually left the safety a little tighter. We widen our Sam linebacker out with the hope that if we get a 4 vertical look, that our corner here can help by apexing things and hopefully making it a smaller window to throw the football. Our Sam should probably be a little wider. They go with the squeeze route here and try to hit number 3 immediately. Our Mike linebacker doesn't do a great job of getting out there. He hesitates for some reason. But it's enough still to force the ball to be a back shoulder throw where the safety's right there, and we're able to play through his hands and get an incompletion here on what's really a 3rd and short. You see our other linebacker here is in a spy situation, so that if they do run some type of quarterback run game, we have a player in place to help defend that run game. Okay, this is the same season, 2013. Here we're playing cover 2. This is more how we ended up playing it, with cover 2 to the 3 receiver side. Quarters here. We should probably be a little more inside leverage. We don't see formation to the boundary very often, particularly out of empty. But here, obviously, the team that gave it to us. Now, this is before we realized that we needed to walk this backer out a little bit wider. So what you get here is he's inside leverage, and we actually do a good job handling this quick screen because he does a nice job of attacking it, and our corner does an outstanding job of attacking it, and then we spoke to the ball the way we need to. But through trial and error, we realized later in the season we needed to widen that backer out more so that he could not get hooked and we were not as vulnerable to the quick screen, from a receiver. This is another snap of it, same game. You see he's a little tighter than we want him. We'd like for him to widen out, especially as tight as this receiver is. And this was the snap that really probably showed me that we needed to widen him out and get him in more of an apex position so that he could be a factor on both receivers. Okay, here they throw the quick screen to the uncovered receiver, and you can see he does a nice job, but I want him ripping across the face of that. And we don't get that done. Now, our safety does a nice job, and we keep it to a minimal gain, but that's more than we want to give up on first down. And if we miss that tackle, we're clearly in bad shape, and our Mike linebacker kind of saves us here by pursuing the football. But by widening this Sam linebacker out, by taking this young man and bringing him into this apex position, we put him in a better position to help us out, not only on this quick screen, but on any type of a Y stick or anything. We feel like now he's in position to be a better factor. Okay, same game here. We have quarters to the boundary, and they try to throw the quick screen here to the boundary, to the number 1 receiver, and our guys do a great job of sorting it out. Our corner takes outside leverage to maintain, give us some contain. Our linebacker attacks it, keeps his shoulder square, and is able to secure a tackle that actually ends up being for a loss. Okay, same game again. Okay, here because of the tight alignment by number 2, we're playing. We want to be 2 to the 3 receivers with quarters. That gives this safety an opportunity to rob back over if he doesn't get a vertical from his number 2. Because of the tight split here on the weak side, with these 2 players being so close, they've gone ahead and put themselves in a sink type situation. So it looks more like a cover 2. Okay, here the safety doesn't do a great job, but they hitch up with the outside receiver or bring him underneath and work 4 verticals with the rest of the formation. This safety has to do a better job of getting depth and apexing the pipe shot by this guy and the vertical here. Now, we're lucky that the vertical from the weak side runs probably too much into the middle of the field, and the safety is able to apex it, but he doesn't necessarily do a great job with his depth. We do get a good pass rush, which forces an average throw, and we are able to stay over the top of things and rally to the ball. But what could have been prevented as a big play actually does go down as a catch for the offense. So we want to make sure we do a better job. We're too wide here. We want to be able to get ourselves to the middle so that we can protect the middle of the field. Okay, another shot of it. Same thing. Again, safety's probably a little too wide. It's early in that season. Okay, but we check to our nickel package here. Okay, and we actually have a stun on to prevent against the draw because I'm expecting on 3rd and 1 to get quarterback run. We don't do a good job, the defensive end down here, of helping to contain the run play, but because we're in a zone, guys have their eyes on the quarterback, we're able to come up and limit it to a narrow gain. It's a great job by that cornerback of getting in to make a play. Now, here they start out in empty and motion the receiver across here so that they end up in basically flipping their formation. Our basic rule when we get any type of motion from empty is to rotate cover 3 to that side. So here as he motions across, we roll our coverage down, okay, and our safety again has to do a better job of getting himself to the middle of the field. He sees the out route, or the corner route by number 2 here, and doesn't see the switch coming from the outside receiver. And we get lucky and get away with one. You really got to work that safety to get himself to the middle of the field. But these are some of the problems that we saw when we were playing zone to these type of empty formations. We realized that, as teams started to motion and do different things, and we're going to take vertical shots, that we could put ourselves in a bind sometimes if we didn't have our eyes in the right place. And you can see here, clearly there's a place to throw the football. So that's one of the reasons that in 2014 we switched to our cover 1 look. Okay, here it is. They line up in quads. This is from 2012 season, I believe. They line up in quads, and again, just like if they were to motion from empty, when a team lines up in quads, you're typically going to get cover 3 from us. Here, they had shown a lot of flash screen out wide. They try to throw it off here and release people vertical, and still giving him an outlet out wide. Our corner does a nice job of reading the quarterback and coming up and making a nice play on the quick throw to the flat. Okay, here is another shot of quads to this side, a little different look at quads. Okay, again, used to getting some type of quick screen out of this. The corner again does a nice job coming up, defeats the block, misses the tackle, but good pursuit to the football, really limits the gain for the offense. Now here's another example. You cannot see the widest receiver out here. He's really taking a max split, but they're going to take this back. They're going to motion him around and throw a T-swing. Again, when we get that motion, we're going to roll cover 3 to the motion. They turn and throw the swing. The corner comes up, as that's how we were rotating the coverage, and is able to cause a big play and get a nice shot on the back. Okay, here again, going back to the 2012 season, here you see us again playing a version of mini that was talked about and discussed in the article. This is our Sam linebacker that was a converted safety. He's walked out playing a cover 2 type technique here. Our Mike linebacker has to do a good job of getting to number 3 because we're giving away so much grass right there. And that's one of the reasons that we didn't have a linebacker that we felt like that was a great situation for him. And you can see clearly he misreads this. We have a shade that's dropping out to protect against shallow, because we had seen a lot of shallow from this team in this down and distance situation, so it's a spy call. We don't get a great pass rush, and they're able to get the ball off and able to convert the first down. Okay, that's one of the reasons. Again, many can be a good coverage, but for that linebacker, for us, we didn't think it was a great situation. Here's another clip, same coverage, same game. You have the 3 receivers down here to the bottom of the formation. Again, the Mike linebacker doesn't do a good job of giving help. They're able to convert for the first down. Same game, now in our nickel front. Now the Mike has an opportunity to get to number 3. Now we have a spy built in here. Okay, our strong safety has tightened himself down to try and take away that quick throw that they had shown us they would do a couple times already in this game. But here they actually, again, they switch these receivers. And we get lucky again. Our pass rush prevents it from being a perfect throw, and the receiver's not able to handle it. Otherwise, this would have been a touchdown. This is another thing that if you're going to play mini to empty, you're really going to have to work with your secondary, making sure that this player and the safety are able to kind of banjo off vertical routes, so that as you get some type of switch concept, that they're able to take that away. Okay. Here again, same game. All right. Strong safety's tightened down again. He's going to get depth prior to the snap. Corner to the top of the screen, you can barely see, is man-to-man on the number 1 receiver. Our Sam linebacker here has not taken outside leverage because of the max split. He instead stays inside leverage right here, and it knows that if he gets a vertical release, he has to turn, and he has to do everything he can to carry it. Here, we get good pass rush, but we do not keep contained. But the zone coverage gives him nowhere to go with the football, and we're almost able to get an interception. So there's a few extra clips for you, hopefully show you some of the alternative ways that you can possibly defend empty.